Are we good? Are we live? I sure would like to think so. Good morning, everybody, and yo, peoples. Kyushu92 here. Actually, let me do this real quick. I got my light on in here because even though it's snowing outside, it's still not where it needs to be light wise. There we go. A nice, subtle, soft glow for all of you here today. Internet is working fine, so that's why I'm able to edit all my settings here and now. So, time for another One Piece. Well, let me just go ahead and do this officially. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another chapter of One Piece. I'm on Viz, and it told me that we're not getting another chapter for 14 days, which means that we're coming out of a break to read the chapter, to read today's chapter, and then we're going on another break. So this chapter better be significantly substantial for us to be going on another break again. So in the last chapter, let's do a little bit of a recap for those who haven't read the recent chapter just to be up to speed. Zoro defeated King. Then it showed everyone fighting everyone. Kid in Law still going up against Big Mom in her Super Saiyan form. We don't know what this power form is. That's going on. Raizo versus Fukuro Kuju, and they are both under a paralysis jutsu that they put on each other. And they were both waiting to see who can hold out the longest. Though things are not really looking good for Raizo, since the fires inside of Onigashima have started to, set him on fire, but Raizo's not relenting. We have Yamato traveling with Fuga, and she's made her way down into the basement that was guarded by, I want to say, Roki, another of the numbers. Fuga is pretty much taking care of that number, while Yamato is running inside of the basement by herself. Momonosuke still holding on to the flame clouds of Kaido, trying his best to pull Onigashima away from the Flower Capital. And as all of this is going on, CP0 is saying like, oh, the lead performers have been defeated. And if we need to think about what will happen, coupled with the events that are happening in the world right now, what will happen to the state of the world if this new generation of pirates defeats both Kaido and Big Mom? The entirety of the world will change. The balance of power will change. And as this is going on, Luffy and Kaido are steadily fighting each other, but every time they get knocked around in the head, every time they get hit, they hit each other, they get back up laughing, with Luffy saying, I'm starting to enjoy this, and Kaido saying, so am I. And that's the end of that chapter. Time to move on to chapter 1037. Let's go. Chapter 1037, Drunken Dragon Bagua. Excuse me? First we had Thunder Bagua. Now we're getting Drunken Dragon Bagua? And to start out, we have Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 2, Judge Size. We are actually getting a whole cover story of Germa 66 and the Germa Kingdom. We got it with Capone when they were escaping Whole Cake Island and they were going through their adventures. Now we're getting the mini adventures of Sanji's family. And we got Ichiji and we got Reiju sitting right here. We don't see Niji and Yonji here, but Judge is here with his two oldest children. And they're just, I guess, traveling. It's a close-up of them on a portion of their castle kingdom that they're on. And there's numerous charred and destroyed sections. So they're probably coming out of a battle. But yeah, we're getting a mini adventure of Sanji's family, and I am looking forward to it. Welcome everyone to the stream. I just want to say hi to everyone real quick. Kohagen, Ogata-san, D-Train, good to see all of you. Yeah, D-Train, church got in-person service for my church. It got canceled, and my pastor is only there. Us band members, we didn't have to go in or anything like that. So yeah, we're all at home as well. Actually was able to eat a nice hot breakfast here at home too. Let's go on with chapter 1037, Drunken Dragon Bagua, Flower Capital, Wano. You've had too much to drink. Too much? It's just the only day of the year I can... Too much? It's this the only day of the year I can get drunk. The rest of the time is just pain. Living in this country is hell. You hear that, Orochi? So people are just mad drunk. Stop that! Shh! You never know what officials might be listening. And then the one person is saying, the festival's reaching its end. I see them preparing the skyboats. And then it has people riding on skyboats, I guess, making wishes. And this one lady saying, now write a wish to our dearly departed ancestors. I hope they make it come true, says one kid. I'm sure they will. And one kid is saying, I want to see mommy. And another one says, I possibly want lots of water. And another one says, I hope I can feed my children. Wow. Yo. All the wishes are of things that people are suffering from. That is sad when the only wishes that people are wishing for is simple stuff that Orochi and Kaido have neglected the innocent people of Wano. And now we cut to Onigashima, near the capital, and there's a massive crash, and then there's Luffy, and he's huffing and puffing. And then there's Kaido, drinking, again. And Luffy says, why are you drinking right now? And Kaido says, it's been a hot minute since I did Kaido's voice, so you'll have to indulge me. Why are you drinking right now? Because I'm having fun. You want one too? Down below, they're having the fire festival in the city. It's the same day we have our big feast on Onigashima. The feast you and your friends so unceremoniously ruined. Hehehe? You mean that's not a Wororo? Kaido has two different laughs. Oh, right, I forgot he does have two different laughs. His Wororo is when he's sober, and his hehehe is when he's drunk. So Kaido is currently drunk right now. It's the same day we have our big feast on Onigashima. The feast you and your friends so unceremoniously ruined. And that's Kaido's laugh. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not doing anything ridiculous. That is what it reads out. Kaido is so drunk, his laugh has completely changed. And Luffy's looking at him like, you're totally drunk. And then Luffy, running at Kaido, says, just don't use that as an excuse for why I beat you, got it? Don't be stupid. I wouldn't make myself weaker. It's a sign that I've accepted you. Kaido is so drunk, his laugh style is changing every single time. I wonder how long it's been since I fought someone who could truly go toe to toe with me. And then Luffy tries to punch Kaido, and then Kaido dodges it, saying, Drunken Dragon Bagua, lightning hammered. And it shows Kaido, I don't know what he did, but he engorged himself. You know how Lucci looks whenever he goes into his leopard form and he has like a big, massive upper body and the lower half of his body is small looking. When we seen Kaido in his hybrid form, it was pretty much even to his regular body size. But here it looks like his arms have gotten even bigger than before. Like they've engorged themselves. Like his muscle mass has increased. And using Conquerors and being in this hybrid form, lightning hammered. And he brings his Kanabo directly down on Luffy. Ragnarok! And slams directly into Luffy with lightning hammered Ragnarok. Ragnarok! And he bodies Luffy so hard that it cracks the roof into the performance floor. Performance floor inside the dome. I'm sorry, there's just so much going on right now. performance floor inside the dome, and all the samurai and beast pirates are looking up like, there's a huge crack in the roof. First the castle's on fire, now the dome might collapse. And then there's Luffy screaming out in pain because, Luffy is screaming out in pain. Kaido hurt. It takes a lot to hurt Luffy. But when you do, know that you're strong. And Kaido hit Luffy hard enough for Luffy to be screaming like, ah, ah. And then Kaido, going in his dragon form, he's just shifting in and out. Kaido's in his dragon form saying, as fun as this might be, the castle and island are half destroyed already. They're useless to me now. There's no going back for Onigashima. There's no going back. Kaido sees this is a point of no return. They're useless to me now. I'm so miserable, can't even keep one castle intact. Back to Luffy when he's saying, man, that hurt. He's so tough. Then it shows Kaido saying, I'll have to rebuild it, I guess. But it took 5 years to make it in the first place. Drowning in his sorrows, Kaido is moping and pouting that he has to restart Onigashima all over again. First of all, it took him 5 years to get this entire island the way it is in the first place. Secondly, Kaido is pouting. And then Kaido is still there with Luffy saying, guess I was the one getting sloppy. And he launches at Kaido, and Kaido says, I gave it everything I had, but I think it just wasn't meant to be. And as he's doing this, he's wailing in his sorrows and then hits Luffy with Dragon Twister Demolition Gust. And Luffy gets hit with this attack head first and gets sent flying back just a little bit, narrowly dodging a slice that takes a chunk out of a boulder. And then Kaido goes into his hybrid form and starts wailing and crying, saying, stay away from me. Just leave me alone, you idiot. Tears in his beard. Kaido is going through so many... I mean, we already knew that Kaido's emotions would shift dramatically whenever he's drunk. But he's going from a pouty child, man-child, to wailing and crying, saying, stay away from me, you idiot. Just mad drunk. And then Kaido prepares his Kanabo, saying, this is what happens to people who don't take a hint. Thunder. And then Luffy says, this is throwing me off. And Kaido continues with his attack. He's saying this attack as he's launching towards Luffy. Thunder, like Ka-me, Ha-me. Like that's exactly how he's doing it as he's launching at Luffy. Thunder, and he launches at Luffy. And before Kaido can hit Luffy, Luffy flips over his Kanabo, lands on it, and as Kaido has tears in his eyes, Luffy smiles as he flips towards Kaido, saying, take this, you drunk. And with a Conqueror's Haki imbued kick, kicks Kaido directly into the chin. And it kind of knocks Kaido back a little bit. But Kaido, just like Lucci, uses his tail to catch Luffy before he can get away. And Kaido just starts crying. And they both try to headbutt each other, but they're using Conquerors so they don't actively touch each other. They try to headbutt one another, but since they're using Conquerors with this attack, they can't touch each other. They're doing a Conqueror's Haki clash with a headbutt, but they can't even make contact. I love this chapter. Let me just say that. I love this chapter. And the lightning from the Conquerors is just emanating from them. And they both get launched back from this. Well, Luffy does. Luffy gets launched back with him crying out, his haki's getting stronger. And then there's Kaido saying, just when I'm finally good and drunk, you're going to sober me up. And now Kaido is in a drunken rage. And he launches one of his beams directly at Luffy. And as Luffy dodges this, he goes, come, rock. And as he launches at Kaido, Kaido brings in a new attack called Kundali. And as they clash with one another, Luffy uses Gum Rock Gatling. Gum Rock Gatling. And Kaido uses Kundali Dragon Swarm. And they just start repelling and hitting each other with their attacks. Just constantly over and over and over again. And they keep hitting each other. This is a speechless set of panels right now. They're each landing blows on one another as they continue this massive clash of Conqueror's Haki imbued attacks. Then it shows Luffy using Gear Third to kick Kaido directly in the chest with Conquerors as well. And Kaido coughs up some blood from this. And then it just shows Luffy's face. Now we're at Marijois. We're at Marijois. We are at Marijois. Sacred Marijois, red line. And yo, we have the Gorosei. We have the Gorosei. This year's reverie is simply accursed. Oh, let it go already. It's what is unfolding in Wano that makes matters pressing now. Who could have imagined the battle would become this intense? Highest power in the world, 5 elders, or Gorosei. If we strike, it should be now. I presume we have Nico Robin in custody already. When Kaido and Big Mom are involved in a fight, death could easily come for anyone, which makes it the perfect cover to eliminate inconveniences. At sea, near Wano, all ships remain on standby. And it has them saying, what is it? There's a huge shadow up ahead. What is it? I don't know. An island? Oh, crap. And then we have one of the members saying, no, that's impossible. That fruit is only a legend now, even to us. It has not awakened for centuries upon centuries. Then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase that fruit's name from the annals of history, isn't it? Excuse me? Excuse me? Are the elders trying to tell me that Zunisha is a devil fruit? The island of Zou is a devil fruit. Excuse me? What in the world? I'm sorry if I'm being quiet, but what? And that's the end of the chapter. Oda. I have so many questions. Good to see you, Destruct. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. It's like they're insinuating that Zoe itself. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me reread this again. Let me reread this again. They couldn't be talking about Zunisha. They couldn't be talking about Zoe itself. They got to be talking about another devil fruit. But my thing is, why is Zoe itself standing in the way of the world government ships? Why is Zoe there to keep the world government from getting to Wano? I mean, given what it did to Jack's ships, hold on. I gotta say this right here live. I gotta say this live. Hey Monique, what's going on? You're coming into the tail end of my reaction of today's One Piece chapter. I'm betting Luffy's devil fruit. Hi everyone. Oh, you said that already. Sorry, Monique. Cohagen, what is this image that you have up here? We, the Beast Pirates and the Straw Hat Pirates, have decided to form a pirate alliance. Yeah, fat chance of that happening. But now it stands to reason. What are they talking about? I may have misinterpreted the fact that Zunisha itself is directly in front of the world government, keeping them from trying to get to Wano. And I may have thought that maybe they were referring to Zunisha. But now it's making me think, what actual devil fruit are they talking about? Because they could be talking about any one of them. There's numerous devil fruits that are on Wano right now, all being used by people. The gum fruit, the fish fruit, the soul fruit, the soul fruit, the... Wait a minute. What is Brooks' devil fruit called again? Because Big Mom has the soul fruit. What does Brooks' devil fruit? What is the name of Brooks' devil fruit again? Because doesn't it allow him to... Hold on. The Yomi no Mi. Oh, revive fruit. That's what it's called. Sorry, I forgot the name of it. My apologies. I think it's Toki's devil fruit because she was missing from history. I was wondering where Zunisha was all this time. Maybe it is Toki's devil fruit. Maybe it is. But it stands to reason. Why are they talking about the fruit right now? In order for them to be talking about a devil fruit awakening, someone has to have it. Why are they... Because devil fruits can... Wait a minute. Let me stop myself before I say something incorrect. What if devil fruits can awaken on their own? We don't know nothing about devil fruits. So they're talking about how it hasn't awakened for centuries upon centuries, which could include the Void Century. That's how long it's been. But no, that's impossible. That fruit is only a legend now, even to us. So what does it mean when the girls say, like, wow, we know nothing about this fruit, and we stand at the highest pinnacle of the world under M-sama himself. We barely know anything about this fruit. There's no way this is possible, and we know everything about the world. But for the Gorosei to go out of their way to say, no, that's impossible. This fruit is only a legend now, even to us. It has not awakened for centuries upon centuries. Then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? So, we about to find out some mad One Piece secrets this year. Yo, if the Gorosei are questioning things, this is big. This is huge. This is huge. if the Gorosei are questioning things. But let's go over all the things that happened in this chapter alone. So firstly, we have Luffy fighting against Kaido. Kaido is getting himself massively drunk and going through numerous mood swings. And actually, let me see if they got his new attacks that he's shown off here. Kaido. Let me pull this up. And let's go down here. Haki. That's Saikai. Let me bring that up. Okay, so it hasn't updated it with what Kaido has done throughout this chapter, but he's done some new attacks. Drunken Dragon Bagua, Lightning Hammered Ragnaroku. That's a new attack. Then he has, we've seen the Dragon Twister Demolition Gust before. We've seen that when he used it against the Akazaya 9 before Luffy. Well, actually, I think he's used it against the Worst Generation when they popped up there. But his other attack that we see him use is Kundali Dragon Swarm. And it's able to go up against the new attack that Luffy uses, Gum Gum Rock Gatling. This is crazy. This whole chapter is just crazy. New attacks, and both Luffy and Kaido are just fighting against one another. And every time Luffy gets a hit in on Kaido, Kaido just keeps coming back. Stronger and stronger every single time. Even after Luffy kept beating on him, Kaido was smiling. And then it cuts to Marijois, and the elders are like, it's what is the year's reverie is simply a curse, so let it go already. It's what is unfolding in Wano that makes matters pressing now. Who could have imagined the battle would become this intense? If we strike, it should be now. I presume we have Nico Robin in custody already. When Kaido and Big Mom are involved in a fight, death could easily come for anyone, which makes it the perfect cover to eliminate inconveniences. So they're going out of their way. Who else are they talking about? Because when they say convenience, they say conveniences. That means plural, more than one. So not only are they trying to get their hands on Nico Robin, but maybe they're trying to get rid of anything else that could potentially throw a wrench in their plans. Possibly. And then it has Zou itself, Zunisha, standing in the way of the world government ships that are making their way towards Wano. And seeing as how Zunisha was able to take out an entire fleet of ships that was led by Jack, and in one fell swoop, I highly doubt some of the world government ships are going to be coming back. You're standing toe-to-toe with an island-sized elephant. You're not surviving. But now we're talking about this devil fruit that hasn't awakened for centuries upon centuries. And they're talking about how it's impossible that this fruit exists. It's a legend even to us, the highest form of power in the world. Might be connected to Rock's Pirates too. Think we'll finally have a devil fruit moment? Maybe. Maybe Joy Boy had this devil fruit, and that's what they mean by it not awakening for centuries. One thing is for sure, it's definitely related to Void Century. Luffy finally against someone who can match his durability. Yeah, this is the first time Luffy's fought against someone who has not immediately gone down when he unveiled a brand new power-up move. This is the first person that has been able to keep up with Luffy since Katakuri. Because let's face it, Katakuri had some durability on him, and he didn't even have the added bonus of being a Zoan. He was just a special paramecia that was able to use Future Sight to just narrowly dodge Luffy's moves. That's it. But Kaido is the one who's been able to tank it in all of his forms. His dragon form, his regular form, and even his hybrid form. Think it's Toki's devil fruit? We'll just have to see. But we're going on break after this chapter. Which means we're going to have to spend another week wondering We're going to have to spend another week wondering what all of this means. And you know for a fact that we're not cutting back to Marijois for some time. Oda does this all the time. He'll give us some info outside of Wano, like Marijois and the Gorosei and what's going on with them. And then we'll cut back to at least like 10 times, 10 more chapters of nothing but stuff that's going on in Wano before we cut back to things happening outside of Wano again. Toki's devil fruit was the time one, right? Yes, the time fruit that allowed her to travel into the future. Now, what they're saying is this fruit hasn't awakened for centuries and centuries, so it's impossible for this to have happened, which means it might actually be Toki's devil fruit. The Toki Toki no Mi, literally where her name comes from. Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to send themselves and others forward in time. It was eaten by Kozuki Toki, but with her death, the fruit has returned into circulation. It might actually be the time fruit. Because when you think about it, Toki came from hundreds of years in the past. So with her taking that fruit's power with her all the way into the future, it could just leave a void in the centuries where it was not available, that no one knew it even existed, that people may have thought it never existed. And going all the way into the future could make it seem like, it's impossible for this to be the fruit. It's a legend. We've never seen this fruit whatsoever. But with her taking the power with her through many periods of time, I'd imagine that fruit would be seen as a legend to even the Gorosei, until her death, with it now being back in circulation. It's Luffy's fruit because the last time we have a conversation about who's talking about Gum fruit, and maybe Tama's fruit also, we don't know, Mr. DJ. It's too soon to say like, oh, it's this fruit when we have no evidence. Too many. It sounds too convenient for who's who to bring up the Gum fruit, because they know about the Gum fruit. But then again, if it turns out to be Luffy's fruit, then there's more to his fruit than him just being elastic. What happens if his fruit awakens? What if it actually is Luffy's Gum fruit? And the awakening is what the Gorosei are so concerned with that it's actually impossible. Did Momo order Zunisha to go to Wano? Maybe because he stayed at Wano when Luffy went to Whole Cake Island? Maybe. Or maybe that's just the path that Zunisha just went on. Because it's constantly moving. It could have just been walking towards Wano this whole time. Or in the direction of Wano. Because we don't know what direction Zou was walking to. We don't know what direction it was walking in. Could have been walking in the direction of Wano, and it just managed to get there. 3 years later. That's just my thought. So I'm guessing Zunisha is going to take out world government ships, and the Big Mom ship, maybe world government covers up that the Gum fruit is a special Paramecia type. It could actually be a special Paramecia type. We don't know the fullest extent of what Luffy's Gum fruit is. And think about it. During the entire series, people have seen his fruit as ridiculous. Have a theory Luffy's fruit was renamed as Gum, but the actual name might be different. So what if Zunisha lift up that big sword at Onigashima? It's really coincidence that we have that big sword at Onigashima. I mean, that's true, but in order for Zunisha to grab that sword, it would have to... Well, actually, Zunisha is actually pretty big, so it could actually do that. But that's only if Zunisha gets onto Wano itself, because Onigashima is floating over the flower capital. That would mean that Zunisha would have to go on land in order to get near the sword. But if you look up a picture of Zunisha, you would know that Zunisha is actually way too tall for it to be able to lift the sword of Onigashima. It is way too big. If you've seen a picture that Oda's made of Zunisha's legs, it reaches down to the bottom of the seafloor, which means that if it comes out of the seafloor and goes onto Wano, it'll basically be in the clouds at that point because that's how tall Zunisha is. That's how it's able to walk through the entire ocean. It's just massively tall. We only see the legs and just how big it is outside the water, but its legs reaches all the way down to the bottom of the ocean. That's how big it is. So if it went on to try and grab the sword, it'd just be way too tall. It will overshoot it. It would overshoot it. Also, hey, what's going on, Neil? You're coming to the tail end of this stream because I don't want to keep you guys going for too long because I still got My Hero Academia and the new episode of One Piece for today. But this just... more questions. More questions. Funk Freed was foreshadowing. Elephants and swords are the main theme of One Piece. Animals and weapons. What if the Wano country cannot be saved, but they will escape and go to Zou? This isn't like Ragnarok, where all the citizens of Wano escape onto a completely different environment after their homeland is completely destroyed. This isn't Thor Ragnarok. I feel like this is not Thor Ragnarok where that's going to happen. I feel like what would we have gone through seeing Odin's backstory for him to open up Wano's borders, for it all to just be destroyed and there's nothing for Wano to have open at all. You see what I'm saying? It made little sense for the country of Wano to not be saved and no one can, live there anymore and everyone has to leave. It would kind of make Odin's dream of opening Wano's borders to the world redundant if there's no one there to do it. The new One Piece episode was directed by 972 director. He did the Odin versus Kaido fight. Oh, you mean she? Because she did that. If you're talking about 972 when they had that epic movie style music video moment with Queen, it was actually a woman who did that. Unless I'm thinking of the producer. Hold on. Nah, I think I may have been wrong. May have been wrong. No, I'm thinking of episode 957. I'm thinking of episode 957. That's the movie quality one. That's the movie quality one. My apologies. Please forgive me. That's my mistake. The new, I think Wano will end this year because we are having Shanks movie this year, so Luffy and Shanks might be already met in the main story because Film Red is going to be released in August. We don't know. The worst thing we could possibly do is try and assume that we know what direction the story is going to go in and how we know how Oda's brain works. All we can really do that I have a 100% chance of being right on is just to wait and see the next chapter. We can come up with these theories all day, but we're not Oda. So we can't really solidify any of our theories at all. Even if some of them may seem concrete. This is Oda we're talking about. This Joker knows how to throw everybody for a loop. So we just got to be patient. All I know is this was a very good chapter. And I am waiting to see what happens in the next one. But we got to be on break for that. And I'm like, bruh, how you just going to give us some stuff and then make us go on break again? I'm looking and seeing if there's anything new about Kaido's form. That I'm missing. Bolo Breath, Kaifu, Tatsumaki Kaifu. There's just way too many variables. What are my predictions about Luffy versus Kaido fight? Like, how many chapters will it take? Maybe 10 chapters, including Kaido backstory. it is hard to it's hard for me to think like how long these chapters are going to go due to how and if the raid will fail because Morge got it. It's hard to gauge how many chapters is it going to take for this Luffy versus Kaido fight to go because there's so many variables that's going on right now that we'll be cutting in between people. We'll be cutting in between things that are happening on Onigashima right now. There's just a lot of things to consider. I can't really give you a prediction on where Luffy and Kaido's fight is going to go and how many chapters it'll take. Maybe it's 10. We don't know. Maybe it'll end faster than that. We don't know. I keep giving you guys the same thought that I give my usual expectations when it comes to chapters like this. Is we just have to sit and wait, especially when it's a break chapter. We have to wait to see how things are going to go. Shanks is going to be so proud if and when he sees that newspaper. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be proud. He's definitely going to be proud. Not just Shanks, but Rayleigh, too. Rayleigh sees his captain in Luffy. Can you imagine how happy Rayleigh's going to be when he sees that Luffy's doing all this crazy stuff out in the world, clashing with Kaido so easily? But yeah, Mr. DJ, we still have a lot of ground to cover before we get to the end of the Luffy versus Kaido fight. Now, do I think it's going to conclude before this month is over? Probably not. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe this fight might conclude in February. Because it's definitely not going to conclude in this month. Maybe February or maybe even March. It'd be cool if this fight would stop around my birthday. But that's just wishful thinking. But we're just going to have to wait and see. All I know is that this was a good chapter to come out of break on. Especially on a big old snow day that we got outside right now. It's snowing here. It's sticking and it's very cold. But we're just going to have to wait and see where this chapter goes. All in all, I enjoyed this chapter. And I'm glad I was able to get it to you guys with my actual setup versus a phone. And Bartolomeo will cry all his highs out. I forgot about Bartolomeo. He's the biggest Luffy fanboy out of everyone. Even bigger than Shanks. Yeah, bigger than Shanks. But we're just going to have to see where things go from here. But that's all I got, ladies and gentlemen. Really do hope you enjoyed my reaction. Hopefully I didn't carry on for too long. But it's time to move on to My Hero Academia because the story in that one's getting good too. So all I can say is that, ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute pleasure and joy to be your entertainer. I am glad to have hit 2.8K subscribers, 2,800 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Every 100 is always a milestone for me, and I'm looking forward to entertaining even more people. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. Onwards to My Hero Academia.